Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Welcome back to another episode of Coming to the Stage. I'm so absolutely excited to have another opportunity to introduce you to another powerful woman with a powerful voice and a powerful message that is going to inspire, encourage, and empower you forward, okay? So if you are new here to Coming to the Stage, hey y'all, hey. I am Coach Andromeda. I'm the founder of She Wins Society, and we are having this series every Wednesday and Friday on Facebook and YouTube live so that you can be introduced to these amazing women who are going to be coming to the stage at the She Wins Conference and Awards on November 9th in Atlanta, Georgia. These amazing, powerful women are going to be gracing our empowerment stage and delivering messages that are going to uplift, encourage, inspire, and elevate you to win bigger personally and professionally. So again, I'm so glad that you decided to join us today. I am going to bring our next powerful woman to the stage. Her name is Qimmah Burgess. She is the host of Pillow Talk with the T podcast, okay? She's also a self-love expert. She is also a body positivity advocate, and just a girl who's doing all these amazing things. She is that girl who is doing all these amazing things, building all these amazing brands that are elevating other women, helping other women to truly live in their truth and become their best selves. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring Qimmah to the stage so she can tell you more about herself. And we're going to do like we always do, have an empowering conversation. So stay locked in with us right here. Welcome to the stage, Qimmah.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it so much. Glad to be here.
So glad for you to be here. Okay, so I have just introduced you, but I would love for you to take time to introduce yourself and tell anybody who's not familiar with you anything that you want us to know about you.
Yes. So my name is Qimmah, but as many cannot pronounce it, you could call me Q, Qua, either Queen. I'm the founder, CEO, creator, and most importantly, the host of Pillow Talk with the T podcast. I'm also the founder of EmpowerHer Tribenation and also a serial entrepreneur, advocate, and just basically a 10-toe stand down girl for me being a sister to another sister. I am my sister's keeper.
Yes. And I love that. I love that. I mean, you are literally got your hand in all these different things that are helping to uplift and encourage your sisters, which I don't think we could ever have too much of that.
Listen, you can't have enough. We need more of us.
Yes. And speaking on that, because I think that, I often get the question myself, like, what do you think is the reason why sometimes we struggle with doing that, right? Being our sister's keeper or elevating each other. And because you're passionate about it and it's your area of expertise. What do you think is the issue is, and what do you think we could do better?
I don't want the ladies to get offended when I say this, but one thing about me, and as you'll get to know me, I like to call a thing, and if this does not apply, let it fly. It comes with a lot of jealousy and envy. And also I feel like if a woman who's not tapped into her own destiny and purpose and confidence in herself, and it's a struggle for them to be another cheerleader for another woman, which I hate to see that, because I also see, because I love to observe, and I have really so much observed so many women in so many different rooms, and just been a fly on the wall and just looking and see the fact is that when another woman walk in the room, that woman or those women some women, not gonna say all, some women get intimidated, and they feel like their light has been dimmed because another woman light has continued or either came into the pot of to shine. And I'm like, why? When let all our lights together, we shine our lights together, we'll be a whole force reckoned with to being. So it comes with the fact of, I feel like it comes with intimidation, it comes with lack of confidence, and it comes with the fact of jealousy and envy.
I think that's true. I would have to agree. In all my years of living, I have also seen a lot of things that you've seen. And so with you being a self-love confidence coach, like, I think that's the root of it, right? When you feel more confident in yourself, when you love yourself more, you can shine with other women. I think that that is really like at the root of it. Like you got to be good with you, then you won't be intimidated by anybody else. So as a self-love confidence coach, like what are some of the things that you do to help women to love themselves more and to be more confident in themselves?
For one, I like to end up instilling into women that one, to tap into their confidence, for one, because a lot of women I do work with or speak to, they have not yet tapped into their confidence, or they have tapped into their confidence, but something a life situation had blew their flame out, so now we have to ignite that. So but normally what I end up doing is telling them, one, be unapologetically you. Find your purpose and your destiny, and which brings you to your light. And I feel like that equates, the light equates to confidence. Because again, if you have that confidence, that shines that light, and it taps on to your destiny, your purpose, your passion, that no one could be able to outshine it. But again, it just comes to the fact of just finding out who you are, what's your purpose, your passion, and let's tap deep down inside with the confidence that carries with that. And it's a lot of self work that has to be done. It's a lot of self work that has to be daily, consistently done. And again, they say normally it takes 60 to 90 days or a certain amount of days to form a habit. And if you're not consistently doing it, it won't be done, you know?
Mm-hmm. What are just give us like one thing a person should be doing or a woman should be doing on a consistent basis to keep
I,
herself
I
confident.
would definitely sit there and say, speak life into yourself,
Mhm.
affirmations every single day. Because again, if there's no one, because again, we know that there's some women and people that don't have the motive, don't have support, they don't have cheerleaders, they don't have other people supporting them. So you your first number one supporter, cheerleader, advocate, and voice for yourself. So you're not cheering yourself on, you're not speaking life into yourself, you're not supporting yourself, you're not investing into yourself. If you're not showing up as your best self, who else you think else going to end up wanting to come on that bandwagon? Because again, I feel like speaking life and affirmation into yourself, at some point you want to believe what it is that you're looking in the mirror and you're saying to yourself.
Come on, Kwamia. Okay. I felt that in my soul. That was good. Whew, yes, so true. And I mean, I always love to testify when people say stuff that I can relate to. And I'm like, even every day of my life, I say affirmations because there are still moments. Like I feel like I'm a confident person, but there are
Mhm.
moments, there are things that happen in life, like you said, that can make me start to question my worth. And so I lean heavily on affirmations to remind myself
Yes.
on a daily basis. Even if I might not be feeling that way, like I might not
Hmm.
be feeling beautiful that day, or I might not be, I'm still going to tell myself I am beautiful, I am worthy. And that consistency does, like, it keeps you above water, right? It
It
keeps you
does.
elevated.
It really does. Because again, no matter what you go through in life, and again, we human. So we know we're going to have our bad days. We're going to have our not so good days. We're going to have our days where we just like, ugh,
Mhm.
but at the same time, we can't allow that crown to shift. We got to continue to stay on, keep the crown on, held on tight, no matter what we're going through in life. Because again, because what you're going through and what you maybe not feeling, it still does not reduce the fact that you're the queen who you are supposed to be and you was destined and born to be. So
Come on. Yes. Listen, everybody needs to hear this message. Every woman is shoot some men too, because men struggle with insecurities as well, but definitely the women need to hear this. Like, your voice is very powerful. I started just to say, like, powerful women with powerful voices, powerful messages. You definitely have that, Kwamia.
thank
Um,
you.
and so you're going to be speaking on our claiming victory over adversity panel. And so you did touch on again that like sometimes there are things in life that happen that
Hmm.
pull you away from your confidence or snatch your confidence from you, rob you of your self-worth, rob you of feeling like you're worthy of self-love. Um,
Yes.
have you ever had any experiences in your life that made you feel that way?
Yes. So basically, me speaking, claiming victory and adversity is basically me tapping into one traumatic situation where I'm going to speak about me tapping into my domestic violence situation with my son father. And again, we all go through something. If it's someone end up bringing it on onto us, or either we brought it to ourselves, however it is. But I feel like that is definitely something that really just threw me off my path, had me question myself, had me doubting myself, had me feel like my light was about to be dimmed and completely just gone. And this is, and again, anything that I speak to any woman about, I'm speaking with life experience, not just because I'm certified or I have a degree. This is because life. And I feel like the best education is life experience.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. And like, I love that you are willing to share such a vulnerable moment in your life because, like you said, all of our lights shine. And I totally believe that, like, the testimonies that we are the trials that we go through and the testimonies that we gain from those trials are not just for us. Like, I think that when you go back to talking about like us sometimes experiencing jealousy and envy,
Hmm.
if we would talk more with each other about our actual experiences and get beyond just judging a book by its cover, you would see that
Exactly.
that woman is a lot more like to you than you think,
Yes.
and you have no idea like what she had to go through to get to where she is today. So that envy can turn into inspiration, it can turn into
Mm.
admiration if you just have a conversation.
And that's it. That's it. And again, that equals what? Communication.
Yes.
And that's what we lack of. And again, and I love the fact that you touched on that. If you just have that conversation with that woman, you'll find out that you guys had the same similarities, had probably went through the same things, but you want to judge a book off it, of the cover, because again, when we go through things, we may think that we're going through them alone, or we went through them, we about the only person in the world, when that's not the case. And
Mhm.
I understand that sometimes when you go through life situations, it makes you feel lonesome, it makes you feel lonely, it makes you feel like you're isolated or towards the whole world because you're going through this issue. But when you end up surviving such a traumatic situation in life to end up thriving, I say, why not be able to go into the rooms to speak to women that you may find out that have the same similar story that you have, that you could relate to. And again, that's called a bond, because I believe the fact is that God don't give his biggest with storms and biggest fights to his weakest soldiers. Because I used to ask why me, but then I turned around and say, why not me? Because I'm a lot of women who went through this, they not willing to talk about it. So
Mhm.
that's why I gotta say, why not me? Because I am the person, the voice, the story, the inspiration, the motivation that's supposed to go in the room and say, hey, if you are in it and you feel like you can't get out of it, look at me, I did it. And if you did get out of it and you stuck to don't know where to go, let me help you get you there. Because again, that's the motto of I am my sister's keeper. When you need that support, that motivation, that cheerleader, or just that locked arm to say, girl, let me pull you up when you're down.
Yeah. It's necessary. It's just so necessary. One of our sisters, her name is Brianna Queen, she said God gives stories to those who will tell them. And so
Yes.
when you said like why me into why not me, like that's why. Like again, when you think about, and I'm just as I'm listening to you speak, like you not only do you have the conviction to go out and tell people about the things that you've been through and try to inspire them through your stories, but it's the way you deliver the message. So yeah, why not you? Like God knows that
Yeah.
when you open your mouth, it's going, your voice and the way you deliver that message is going to impact people. And so he has to give you stories so that
Yes.
you have them to tell.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, and it makes you appreciate things so much better in life. And again, it just makes you not only just appreciate things in life, but just people in life. Because again, I don't take my family ships, friendships, and sisterships, nothing in vain. And again, but it also allowed me to be able to be, like you say, the voice, but also be the vessel, you know, because again, so many people are struggling in that department. And not saying it's only women going to do domestic violence, men do too, but there's majority case ratio that has been reported that women do go through the most. and it just saddens me to the fact is, and this is what been put in my heart, is that I always say that I am here to tell my story and my testimony for those who did not survive to tell theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to tell my story and speak and have my voice tell my story and stand in rooms, because those who are not here to tell their story, who did not survive, I'm here to tell my story for myself and all the rest of them.
Now that's powerful. And that's a message for somebody who's listening right now or who is going to hear this replay. Like, don't keep sitting on your story. Don't keep sitting on your
Mm-mm.
testimony. It has value. Somebody needs to hear that because, like you said, somebody wasn't able to tell their story. You have the ability to, and your story may actually save somebody, right? It may pull them
Yes,
out of a dark space. So,
absolutely.
whew, so necessary. And so, speaking of telling stories, you do have Pillow Talk with the T podcast. So, tell us
Yes.
about more about your podcast. What was the inspiration behind starting this podcast?
So the inspiration of Pillow Talk with the T, for one, I didn't even want to do a podcast. Let's put that out there. And I said this story so many times. It was just it's just the fact that after me become get let me see, transitioning out of my dark space, because like I was saying, like I always used to say, I was surviving but not living. That's, and I felt like I was literally, you know how you are underwater holding your breath. That's how I feel like I was living in life. And I went to this meditation retreat that turned into a reality show. That 12 women in one house, like, but our whole mission was to heal. Our
Mhm.
whole mission was to heal and to be able to release the shackles and the chains that was holding us back from whatever situation. If it was sexual abuse, domestic abuse, if it was whatever was holding us back. And when I actually went to this retreat, there was the bonfire where we actually was. And again, I think at this time I had separated or away from my son father probably about 10, maybe 12 years at that time. But again, people don't understand, when you go through traumatic situation, it changes and alter your life forever. you know. And so there's some people I heard say, "Oh, it's over with, get over it, you good, you out of it," and it does not. Me being physically out of it does not match up with this,
Wow.
or what I still feel up in here, because I
Mm-hmm.
have to now, I have to connect, retrained, and get new tools to be able to match up and to coexist and to live differently after experiencing something like that.
Yeah.
So after just and then during the bonfire, it was just the fact, she said, write stuff down that you feel like that you need to let go, you need to hold, that you don't, that's holding you. And so she had everybody go off to the separate spaces inside the house. And she was like, I just need y'all to really do this because we got an assignment. And one thing, I'm very serious when it comes to assignments, especially assignments in life, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't question assignments in life because there's always a message at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when she did that, I didn't even know I still had that hold. I didn't know he still had that hold on me. And so, but long story short, when I actually threw this paper in the fire, this paper did not want to burn. And on the paper, it stated that to get my power back, to release the change and bondage that I have that's weighing me down, that's the source who is my son's father. This paper did not want to burn. It did
Wow.
not want to burn. I think we was on the beach, and it kept flying. And the girls, again, this is the power. This is the powerful of sisterhood, y'all. I'm telling you, this is the power of sisterhood, because my sisters, who I just met at this retreat, helped me chase down this paper because they made sure that they wanted me to be released. They wanted me to be free. They wanted me to get my power and my voice back. And we finally got the paper. We put it inside the bonfire. The bonfire had went out. That's a see,
Goodness.
bonfire went out. Then we try to light it back up. The wind got heavy. Then all of a sudden, all the girls came and start bringing their hands all together to cover it up. And that's when it ended up
Wow.
lighting and it went. And that right there shows me, and that's why I stand and walk and say, I am my sister's keeper, because those women was my sister's keeper.
Mm.
To really be by my side, to really, and I don't want to tear up because I still feel the fact is that I just want women to understand that you may have trials and tribulations finding a group of women that's for you, but don't give up. Don't let the one couple or two, four, five women, rotten apples, be your determination to steer you around, to deter you from wanting to actually have a sisterhood, because it's powerful.
Mm.
But to go back to the whole thing, so that's when Pillow Talk was basically birthed. It was birthed after the healing retreat, due to the fact that I was free. I was free. And I was ready to tell my story. I was ready to create a space to tell my story. And so I create the space, Pillow Talk with the T, to no longer sweep it under the rug and talking about that big ass pink elephant in the room, and to create the space, no judgment zone, so women could be able to tell their truth. The key word, their truth, not your truth, not his truth, not her truth, their truth. And to be able to tell me how they took their story and turned their heroic, how can I say, their traumatic situation, and turn their traumatic situation into purpose and passion. So I had to create that space because, again, I was like, if I'm doing this and this feel good to me, I want to share this. I need to share this. So that's how Pillow Talk with the T was actually birthed. And then again, and doing it unapologetically. Doing it unapologetically. Don't care what nobody say, because you're telling your story, and no one could tell your story better than you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So good. Let me tell you, that story gave me chills. It just really made me, like, the visualization of it all made me just think to myself, like, that paper was flying away because you by yourself just didn't have either the strength, or there was
Mhm.
something within you that was holding you back
Yes.
from fully releasing that, and that was a visualization of what that looked like.
And that's
And
what the meditation coach said. She said there's something in you that was trying to hold you back or did not want you to let go.
mhm. But
Woo!
then to have sisters, I feel like everything happens for a purpose and is connected to our purpose. So, being that the way you speak with such conviction and passion about sisterhood, that that memory is so linked to your purpose, because you forever have a reminder of how it took other women to surround you and help you for you to
Hmm.
release a thing. Like,
Yes,
without their help, it would still have you would still be in bondage in pushing by
absolutely.
that thing.
Absolutely. And that's the model right there. That's the model that right there shows you, in sisterhood becomes a village. In sisterhood becomes a tribe. Because we're not created to do this thing called life by ourselves.
No, we're not.
We're not. If it's not your own family that's going to support you, I tell people, and I tell even the women I work with, go find your chosen family. Create your own. And it's possible, because I have. And I created some amazing friendships, some amazing family shits that from a different Mr. or Mrs. And
Right.
I would not trade it in the world. And even with the women, the women that from that show, we did 2 seasons. Some of them came back, some of them didn't, but still, I still have a connection with them in some type of way. They gonna always remember what they did for me, and I'm gonna always remember what I did for them, and I'm gonna remember always what they did for me. So that's going to always be a connection. And I tell women this, you may not have to speak every day to understand how powerful the unity is. I don't speak to them every day, but for sure they see me doing something. Oh, they behind me supporting me. They showing up in some type of way, spiritually or physically. And again, I hate the fact is so many women, I say this in the whole thing, that I have to be, I had to say this with conviction because I hear too many stories of women saying, I don't know about that sisterhood.
Me too.
I tried it. And I say, listen, I have too, but I didn't give up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, and you know what I've learned too about sisterhood, because I've heard the same thing, Quimea. Like, I would have people say, I was following your page for so many years before I finally decided to attend an event. And I'm thinking, like, it took you years because people want to really observe you and see that you're really who you think they
Hmm.
are. But what I've really learned about sisterhood, because I've had my moments, like, I started this whole thing from a place of me having a season in my life where I was like, I'm done with women. Like, I wanted the friendships and I just couldn't seem to get the ones that I was looking for. And so I was like, I'm good. Like, all women are crazy. I'm done. And
Yes.
then I was like, no, I don't want to. Like you said, it was something in me. It was like, I can't give up on it. Right. Like, if
Yes.
I have a genuine heart, then I have to believe that there are other women out there who have genuine hearts. Right. God didn't just
Yes.
make me by myself. And
Yes.
so I created this community, and just through putting myself out there, right, I was able to discover and attract that there were other women like me. So, like, I get that I get it. Like, I do get it. I'm sure you
Yeah.
get it too. Like, to be in a place of that hurt. I think that sometimes, oftentimes, it seems like when we hurt each other, that stings more than sometimes when you're in a relationship with a man, or sometimes, I mean, like, it's sometimes we can't seem to bounce back quick enough
Yeah.
from, like, sister hate or friendship hate,
Yeah.
discord. Like, we can't seem to get past it fast enough.
And see, and that's the thing. I realized that a lot of women can't. And I do have like some of my female sister friends, and even I have some family members, especially my sister. She be like, "You just move on so quick to fast, just from people," because I really truly believe that people come in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime.
That's
And
it.
again, if you got spoiled milk, and this is my metaphor, you got spoiled milk in the refrigerator, right? And you know it's spoiled. Are you going to sit there and pour it on your cereal? Or what you going to do? You going to throw it out, right?
Right.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, it's okay because it's all right.
Yeah.
And it's okay because that milk was expired. The milk did what it's supposed to do for the time that you had it. And that's because the message was already received, the assignment was completed, and now you have to let it go. And again, also in another form, sometimes some women do see that some women mistreating them, but they so hard to bounce back, or so hard to believe, like, okay, I don't want to believe that she's not how I am, so I'm just going to stick it out. And we got to stop hurting ourselves. We got to believe when someone show us who they are, that's who they are. Again, because I live by the motto that I'm not for everybody and everybody isn't for me, and it's okay because it's 7.5 billion people in this world, and trust and believe, majority of them billions or half of those thousands of millions, they are for me. And if I have not found them yet and they haven't found me, or trust and believe, they will. Because I believe in the law of attraction. And that's another thing. And then let me say this. And when you had said about the fact of sisterhood, because you felt like you doubted, because I did too. I doubted. I was like, God, I know I'm not the only person you created with this heart, this humbleness, this sisterhood, or this thing, a community, tribe, village, friendship, this positive thing. I know I gotta find my way. I gotta find my tribe. So I end up saying to myself, I'm not gonna go find them. I'm gonna attract them. Because again, you cannot allow to end up wanting someone completely different in your life, and this person that's so good, if you're not exactly what you want.
That's it.
You
That's
can't.
it.
And that goes
That's
the
it.
same thing in relationships. You can't say, I want this man with a 700 credit score. I want this person with this. I want this person with that. I want this person with that. But you're not that yourself.
Come on, Carmia. That's it. That's it. And again, let me testify. I recognize that at that time when I was really struggling, and I've had, I would say it was like a lot of years I've struggled really to connect with women the way that I wanted to. And when I took a step back, I realized the problem was me. Like I was the problem because I was looking for other women to fill voids and complete me because of relationships that I lacked in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got to a place of wholeness to be okay with me, then I don't need you to complete me. I just need you to be my sis, which means that if you can't attend an event, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can extend you plenty of grace because I don't need you to be there to complete some void that I have or to fill some void that I have. You know what I mean? I don't need you
Mm-hmm.
to show up the way that that person in my family never showed up. Like I don't, that's not what I need from you. I
Yeah.
just need you to be my sis, meaning we're going to exchange positive energy. I can be there to
Mm-hmm.
encourage you when you need me to encourage you, and you can do the same for me. But I think the biggest word when it comes to sisterhood is grace, like
Yeah.
understanding, because we get caught up, in that word reciprocation, which I do think reciprocation is necessary in any
Yeah.
relationship that you're in, but we get caught up in that tit for tat stuff, and that's the
Yeah.
problem. Like, sis, I might be on 100 today. I got full capacity to show up for you. But today you might, or tomorrow I might need you and you might be on 50 or 0. And so I
Exactly.
can't expect you to show up for me the same way. Like we got it.
Exactly.
Sisterhood is just understanding that. Like if I know you have good intentions, if I
Mm-hmm.
know you and trust you to be a good person, to be honest with me, then
Mm-hmm.
I can accept your no and be okay with it and not feel like, oh, you're
Yes.
trying to slight me or mistreat me. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. And that's how I was too, because I had the men, my relationships in my family that I had that was broken. I had to also, and baby, forgiveness could be so hard.
yeah,
I
yeah,
had to forgive things. And again, like they say, forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. So you could be able to not be held back and for you to move on and not have this hole and brokenness continue inside you. I had to be able to realize that I was born in this family, but I don't have to tolerate certain things either.
yeah.
And that's where I build my standards and my boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And you listen, I tell people anytime, yeah, I love them, but sometimes I don't like their ass,
Yeah, I can
you
relate.
know. And again, that's when I end up getting into that space, not just healing from just my domestic violence situation, but just healing wholeheartedly for just separate relationships I had in my family that was struggling, that either I was still holding on, things that were still bothering me internally, but I may have this smile on my face, but it still was bothering me, so it was holding me back. And I knew that was the reason why I was not attracting such friendships and sisterhood that I had wanted, because I had still these unforgiveness feelings and these thoughts. I'm like, F everybody, forget the world. I'm going to do this by myself. I'm going to do it on my own. And again, I couldn't continue on that, because me having that attitude, I wouldn't attract the women that I have right now attracted that's in my circle. And once I let all that go, that's when I started attracting so many different women. But hold up, I'm gonna tell you, I do have discernment. So
Yeah,
sometimes, and
yeah, yeah,
everybody, some of them may come for their own motives. So you got that discernment, and you tap into your discernment. You make sure to realize that, yeah, you're going to track them, but you have to make sure that you pick out the right fruits,
yeah,
and don't pick the rotten ones, because again, everyone, and I say, I had this been said to me so many times by the wiser ones, and I call the wiser ones the older ladies who've
mhm.
been here. And I love speaking to the wiser women, because baby, they got the inspiration, they got the words of
Yeah,
wisdom.
yeah,
And she said, listen, she said, you have a light around you.
Mhm.
And I need you to know that you have a light. And one thing I can respect about your light is you humble with it. You're not boastful. You're not, just big headed with it. And she said, but there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be attracted to your
Mhm.
light. And
Mhm.
some of them are going to be good, some of them not going to be good. So I need for you to make sure that you stand in your word, stand fast in your truth, stand fast in your discernment, and know and to understand, to see and tap into your third eye. What's the difference?
Mm.
Because sometimes the devil could come masked up looking pretty,
Come on.
and you won't see it until they decide to reveal themselves and to attack. So in regards to that, I need to you use that discernment. And trust and believe me, doing the work that I do, I have so many women that's very much attracted to my light, and I do appreciate it. But I also tell women this: I'm also to just come into your life for only maybe a reason in a season.
Yeah.
I'm not maybe
Yeah.
meant to be there all the time. For when my date and my assignment is up, and I taught and gave you what you needed, all I could do is wish you farewell, love, blessings, and soul.
Kwame, I'm about to jump out my seat. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because that wisdom you just shared, oh Lord, if I had it when I first started, it would have completely changed so many things. I ran into so many issues because I did not understand exactly what you're saying. I did not. My husband would even say, "Everybody's not your friend," and I would just be like, "But I want to just save everybody. I want to show everybody sisterhood. I want to show them that they can be loved, and that is." And it,
You
girl, it
sound like
almost took me out.
my son. And my son is 23, and I'm at this point trying to tell him, snap out of it. Everybody isn't your friend, and I need you to tap into your discernment.
Girl, it almost took me out. I'm telling you, it was a lot. I had cried a lot of tears. I had a lot of
Wow.
days of questioning, like, what am I doing? Why am I
Yeah.
doing this? And it's only by the grace of the God that I continued on, because if it was with me, just my own power and flesh, I would have been said, forget this. Like, I'm good. But oh God, that, let me tell you, I hope somebody hears this, because that's going to set somebody free. If I could have heard what you just shared 10 years ago, it would have saved me a lot of heartache.
Yes, and
A
I'm
lot.
telling you, them wise ones, they be spitting some knowledge and and I love sitting in the room with them because, and the thing is this, I hear a lot of people like, why do you like sitting around them? First of all, one day I pray to get their age for one. How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
And they still look good and they vibrant, but they're dropping the knowledge and experience, and because they've been here, I stand on their shoulders. So why wouldn't I not sit in a room around these women who spitting all this knowledge, wisdom, and gems in my lap to fulfill me, to pour into me, to fill my cup up? Why wouldn't I not do that? And again, because sometimes I understand someone could come and tell you some crazy stories, but
Yeah.
don't listen. Sometimes don't listen to the story, listen to the message in the
Right.
story. You gotta have, sometimes you gotta have selective hearing with them. Like, listen, even though sometimes the stories be funny,
Mhm.
but you have to listen and take the message out of the story. I'm telling you, because they go through this whole long story before they get to the message. But baby, they got a message, and it'll be great. And I'm just so thankful, and I just be wishing that every woman had that opportunity, or even take that chance to be able to surround themselves around them, or either women that could be able to drop that type of wisdom in the shoulders that you stand on. Because again, I would not be here if it wasn't for those women. Those women opened up doors for me, you, and so many women who's watching. So many women that's going to be at the conference and award show. They're going to. We stand on their shoulders. We stand on their hard works, blood, sweat, and tears. And I
Yeah.
want to honor that. I want to make sure I want to make sure I'm making them proud. I want to make sure I'm making my ancestors proud, because you got to remember, we came from, women ain't had voices. And baby, since now we got a voice to be able to speak, we need to use it in a powerful, positive way to help one another, to make sure we remind each other who we are, and to be able to uplift and pour into each other.
Yes. Oh, Kwamia. I could talk to you all night. I really could. We could keep this conversation going forever and ever. But we know that it will continue on November 9th at the She Wins Conference and Awards. So I'm so
Yes.
excited. I'm so excited to be in your presence, to be able to meet you. I got a big old hug waiting for you. And I just can't wait for the attendees to hear more from you because I just know you have so much more to share. So thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much for all of that you shared today. Truly
You are so
inspirational.
welcome. Thank you for just even having me as one of the guest speakers to be able to speak and create in this space to bring women together, to bind, to unite, and to celebrate one another. Because again, if it wasn't for people like you and to create this space as well, and these type of conferences and award shows to give other women outside looking at other women who is doing the damn thing, we will be lost. We really would. So thank you and your team. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so before we go though, like this live is going to live on our YouTube page forever and ever. It's going to live on our Facebook page forever and ever. So before we go, I would love for you to tell the women who are watching now or in the future how they can connect with you, because I know they're going to want to hear more from you and to connect with you in the future.
Yes. So you guys could connect with me at Pillow Talk with the T podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And also at Pillow Talk with the T at gmail.com. Listen, my DMs is open, not from the crazy stuff, but some good stuff. But also you can listen to the podcast. The podcast is returning back in November. So we got amazing, great guests, conversations, real, raw, life conversations we're having. So, and some of these conversations, make sure you put your babies to bed because we ain't sugarcoating nothing.
I know that's right. Oh, so good. I know I'm definitely going to be tuning in. Are there certain days that new episodes launch?
Yes, so it's going to drop Thursday nights at midnight. Thursday at midnight. So soon as you get up on Friday, or you gonna be like, I mean, as soon as you get out Thursday night and you got that Thursday to go to work to listen to it on all podcast streaming platforms: Apple, iHeart, Pandora, Amazon,
Yeah.
Spotify, anywhere, even Sirius XM radio. Like you could just listen to it and you could just sit there and get some encouragement before you walk into your job and end up have to deal with some of the people you may not want to deal with. But
So good. I listen. I know I'm gonna go ahead and get subscribed right now because I
yes,
don't want
and
to miss an
we on YouTube, and yes, the YouTube channel is on Pillow Talk with the T. So please go subscribe, turn your notifications on because I do visual video, but I also do the audio for those who like to end up maybe working out, listening to it, or you in your car going to work or from work or at lunch.
Yes. Thank you so much again, Kwamia, for your time today, for pouring your heart out, for just being you. Like, this was an amazing, amazing conversation. I'm so excited for the ladies who are listening now and those who will listen in the future. And for anybody who was listening and you want to meet Kwamia live and in person, meet us at the She Wins Conference and Awards on November 9th in Atlanta, Georgia. Again, she has so much more to share. I promise you, she's going to be on our Claiming Victory Over Adversity panel. And you can learn more about the She Wins Conference and Awards by going to shewinsociety.com. Also, make sure that you share this out because I know there were some gems that was dropped that you need somebody else to hear. Go ahead and share this YouTube video or Facebook Live with someone else. And make sure that you tune in every Wednesday and Friday for another episode of Coming to the Stage right here on YouTube or Facebook. Thank you again for joining us. Until next time, keep glowing, keep growing, and keep on winning.